Right, welcome to UK Casuals Football Show. We've got Martin King of S36 Blues, part of London. If you're a Chelsea fan, that is the place for you. We've also got Dave Cass, who is it QPR Memoirs, Dave?
Yeah, that's the one, Matty. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, so have a look and subscribe.
Thank you, mate.
So, today, we've got lots coming up. There's lots to speak about. We're going to have Dave's pot pickers, his results of the Premier League and the Champions League, and also Martin's moan of the week, which will be a regular feature. We've got some other stuff coming up that we're going to talk about, which there's the first adult match that's going to be hosted at Spennymoor Town without any headers. We'll talk about that. We'll go on to the England women. They won 8-0, so that's worth mentioning. We'll talk about that. So, over to you, Martin. Obviously, Chelsea played Tottenham today. So how do you feel? How's your week been?
Yeah, I've been all right. I've been busy packing because we're moving on Tuesday up to Norfolk. So we've been busy packing for 2 weeks. Fucking I've been knackered, mate. Up in the loft, in the garage, loading skips. But it'd be good to get up there and get away. And I'm going to start my treatment at Norwich Hospital.
Okay.
Just got a big oncology unit for my cancer, so I should be better off. Yeah, a great win today for Chelsea. First half we just sort of contained them, and he made a few tactical changes. Old Tommy Tuchel, which done well. And I thought we could have won 6 or 7-0 in the end. You know, we was that strong, that powerful. But it's always a dodgy game down at Tottenham because the crowd were always up for it.
Yeah.
They're never quiet at Tottenham. And they G the players up. But Harry Kane, he didn't look weren't really interested.
Still not his normal self.
No, not at all. You know what I mean? He's a danger man, but he seems to pick and choose his games when he fancies it or when he springs into life. But he was rubbish. I'd give him 4 or 5 out of 10 today. It was that bad. Yeah, it was bad. A lot of Tottenham players were. They was all disjointed. First half, they was all running for one another. They looked good. They looked strong. They got a good manager now, the ex-Wolves manager. But old Tommy Tuchel, he had a chat with Dave, as Lapleto, what his fucking name is, our captain. And he suggested a few things, obviously, and he changed it. And a brave decision. And like we said, he's not frightened to change things. So, all in all, well pleased. So, good result.
That's good stuff. Okay, over to Dave Cass of QPR's Memoirs and also author of Shenanigans, a QPR History of Casuals, or maybe the other way around, Dave. So what was QPR's results and how's your week been, Dave?
Yeah, the week's been all right. Just working as usual. Getting ready, like Martin is moving soon. Hopefully we'll be moving soon as well. So find the thing yesterday for the loan to be sent off for the cost of the cottage, etc. But QPR yesterday, unfortunately, I'd say we got robbed. Well, not necessarily. We're not taking our chances well enough. We had 23 shots, 11 on target. We score 1. Bristol City have 2 on target, score both counter attacks as we were attacking. 1 on the stroke of half time, 1 on the 93rd minute. So it's a bit of a bitter pill to swallow because Narky Wells, who was on loan with us previously, got the winner. But respect to him, I've seen the highlights and he didn't really celebrate too mental. I know
fair enough.
But yeah, that's our result yesterday.
So the moral of the story is take your chances, Dave, isn't it? Really?
Well, yeah, definitely. You've got to take your chances. No matter what division you're in, you have to take your chances or you get punished. End of story. Okay,
you're going to read the results out in a minute. It's called Dave's Pot Pickers. Over to Martin and yourself, Dave. Dave's Pot Pickers, a regular issue.
Pot Pickers.
Not half, mate.
Southgate has come out and said there's not enough women on the England men's team staff. Now, should gender matter, you pick the the best person for the job, don't you? It shouldn't matter whether they're a man or a woman.
Who said
this is
that?
what he's come out with, Martin.
Who said that?
Southgate.
Oh, fuck off. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's a fucking idiot. What do you mean want more women? He's a fucking dick, the geezer.
Well, there's not enough women on the England men's team staff. To me, gender shouldn't matter. You pick who's the best person for the job. Yeah.
Listen, we're going to come to Marmone in a minute, and it's very sort of relevant to what you just said, right?
Right.
Who gives a fuck? Why have we got to have so many women involved in men's football? Why? For years, we never had a fucking single bird on it. Now, every fucking time, you've got to have a woman from fucking Wycombe Wanderers or fucking Rochdale who's got no relevant. I mean, we've spoken about this before. We've got that Alex, whatever her name is, who's always on the one show. She'd go to the opening of a fucking fridge, she would. She's on everything, right? She was doing Crystal Palace versus Tottenham or something last year with Mark Hughes on there. And she was telling, we should run down the channels and this one should run down here and that one should. So Mark Hughes said, explain what running down the channels is. Didn't have a fucking clue what he was
He was about. Just using that phrase.
Yeah, and then he said. Then she started talking about the internal workings of the football club. So clever Mark Hughes said, well, explain how it all works with transfer then, Alex. She was fucked, didn't know what to say. He tore her a new arsehole. And I just think now, you just put women on just for the... Well, let's come into my moan in a minute, so I won't go too strong.
Yeah.
But no, that's bollocks. I think that's bollocks. As you said, if you're good enough to do the job, then whether it's a male or female, yes, do the job. If that's the case, why aren't there more women football managers in men's football? How many is there? One, and there, I think.
I'm not too sure, Martin, to be honest.
Have Forest Green Rovers appointed a woman, or has she gone already?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, it just baffles me why we've got this whole fucking nonsense about giving more women jobs and more ethnic jobs. Why? If you're good for the job, then get the job.
You're good for the job. Yeah.
Colour of the quality business
shouldn't matter.
No, of course it shouldn't. It's bollocks, mate.
So what's your opinion, Dave?
It's all this equality crap gone crazy again, ain't it? Football has been a man's world. There is women's football, which is a separate thing altogether, and they've got a good crack at that. Like, I mean, hey, pardon the pun, but yeah. I didn't mean to say that. Sorry, ladies. Any ladies watching? I didn't mean to say that.
Yes,
sorry.
he did. He did.
Apologies.
He did.
Yeah.
It's a separate thing. Men and women's football is a separate thing, in my opinion.
It is.
Yeah.
100% right. Yeah, I'm totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week we'll go over to Martin's moan of the week. Martin, so what's your issue, mate?
Right, what you just broke the ice with about Southgate, Divvy fucking Southgate, on about more women should be involved in the England setup or whatever setup he's on about. I don't know what fucking he smokes. Anyway, so I watched the Champions League on Tuesday night. We was on against what are they fucking called? The team, not Russia, the other fucking one. What are they called it? We played Tuesday night. Anyway, we played some foreign team near Russia. Foreign brains. Anyway,
Martin, you go see no more.
No, I've been working really hard today. My brain is just looking at fucking. If I hand you around, all you'd see is fucking cardboard boxes.
Oh, don't, mate. Oh, don't.
But anyway, we played, not Moscow, one of them fucking Russian teams anyway, and we won 1-0. And on the panel, you've got a couple of ex-pro players, and then there was a woman on there. I will say she was a black woman, don't matter what colour she is. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, now who the fuck is she? And she's telling Thomas Tuchel should do this, Tommy Tuchel. And I'm thinking, who are you? Who are you to tell the fella who's just won the European Cup, the Champions League, how to run a football team? And I don't get it. You know, the most irritating woman is that woman who's the Chelsea women's team manager. Emma, or whatever her name is. So she's like Arthur Mullard's love child. Got the most irritating fucking voice. And I just think they're just putting women on there for the sake of putting women on there.
Yeah,
and
I think that, Martin. Yeah.
It is. It's been a man's game for donkey's years. And about 10 years ago, maybe a bit longer, 12 years ago, I remember the first woman commentator commentated on, I think it might have been Fulham and QPR, Dave. But it was a Fulham game. I think I was playing QPR. And there was an outcry. It was on Match of the Day. She commentated on it was definitely Fulham. I think it might have been against QPR. Anyway, there was an outcry. What, she can't commentate. And now, 12 years on or 15 years on from that first time a woman commentated on a game, it's like commonplace to have women who no one's ever fucking heard of. You know, why don't you get a lorry driver or a milkman or a fucking baker out of Morrison's to come on then? Because they've probably got more knowledge than these fucking women. Yeah. For fuck's sake, why have we got to have women on the BT do it? BT Sport, like the score thing, what starts at 3 o'clock, finishes at 5 on a Saturday. You normally got 2 women on the panel. And I'm thinking, who are these women? You know what I mean?
I think it's what you said, Martin. I think it is for the sake of it. To look good, to feel, like Dave said earlier, an equality quota or anything. I think a lot of it is just to be seen that they have women on their panel. I don't think their knowledge of the game is probably relevant. That's probably the last thing on their minds.
Listen, you've watched football. I'm nearly 66 years of age. Dave has watched football. Well, he's watched QPR. And the thing is, we all watch football and we sort of understand the game. We've always understood the game. It's a man's game. There's a woman's game, which I think is brilliant. I'll watch it. When the World Cup's on or England girls are playing, I'll watch it and support them. But I don't think there's any place but just putting a random woman or 2 women on a panel of the Champions League and all that. What do they know? They've never played in the fucking Champions League.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it just really bugs me that just for the sake of political correctness, well, it's not even political correctness, it's political madness. Yeah. That they're sticking these women on, and it's fucking embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. Because they don't know the men's game. It's not the same game as the man's game.
No.
It's totally a different game.
It's a separate, it's their own game, it's a separate thing. Yeah. And there are going to be differences between the men's and the women's game. That's 100%. Not the wrong thing to say. That's just how it is. Okay, Dave. Over to you. It's Dave's Pop Pickers for Dave's results of the Premier League and the Championship. So over to you, mate.
All right, evening, Pop Pickers. Happy Monday to you all. These are the results from the weekend, starting from Friday evening from the Premier. You had Newcastle 1, Leeds 1. Then you had Wolves 0, and our noisy neighbours Brentford 2, Burnley 0, the Gooners 1, Liverpool 3, Palace 0. Then you had Man City 0, Southampton 0, Norwich 1, Watford 3. Then you got Villa 3, Everton 0, Brighton 2, Leicester City 1. The Happy Hammers, not so happy now, 1, Man U 2.
Right.
And the big one for you, Martin, the Spurs 0, Chelsea 3. Now, there's some serious results in there, very big surprises. On to the Championship, Hull City 1, Sheffield United 3, Burnley 0, Blackburn 0. Then you got Cardiff 0.
Oh, lovely.
1.
Oh.
Derby 2, Stoke City 1, Fulham 1, Reading 2. Huddersfield 0, Forest 2. Luton 3 and the Swansea 3. The Borough 1, Blackpool 2. Millwall 1, Cov 1. Peterborough 3, Birmingham 0. Preston 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. And finally, yours, QPR 1, Bristol 2. And there's the results from the weekend. Some serious, funny old results there this weekend, to be honest, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, just a quick shout out to Jasper Thompson, a good friend of the show. Obviously, Huddersfield lost so he's not going to be too happy. Was there any results that surprised you, Dave, out of that lot?
Yeah, there's quite a few there, to be honest with you. Brighton beating Leicester. Man City only drawing with Southampton's a bit of a
that's quite a shock.
Yeah. Brentford winning at Wolves, that's a good result for Brentford.
Good result there. I watched that.
Oh, that's a good one. And coming down to the Championship, Fulham losing to Reading at home weren't too clever for them. Middlesbrough 1, Blackpool 2. It seems a bit of a dodgy result for Borough. And West Brom drawing it from Preston, a decent side at home, to be fair. So a draw there for West Brom. But yeah, there's a few results. I mean, Chelsea are continuing a bit of form, aren't they? Smashing Spurs 3-0.
Yeah, I mean 3-0 is almost a hammering. Was there
a bit more?
Was there any surprise for you, Martin, out of that lot?
The one surprise for me was Dave didn't read them off a card. He read them off the top of his head. That is impressive.
I didn't. I had them written down. Sorry, boys. I ain't that good.
He had a cheat sheet. He had a cheat sheet. Never mind.
Oh.
There we go. Which is put into UK Casuals Football Show, ladies and gentlemen. Never let it be said. Well done, Dave.
No mod cons spared, a pen and paper. That's all you
know.
No,
exactly. We're all up to date with the internet on this show.
I thought he'd memorise them. He really impressed me until he done that.
I'll try that for next week. I'll probably get about 3 of them, I'd say.
Yeah, it's memorised. Okay, I did mention it in the intro. There's going to be the first adult match at Spennymoor Town, which is going to take place this month. I'm not sure which date, which is going to be the first football match without any headers. Now, I don't know how that's going to be policed. Maybe they've got to let the ball bounce until it bounces, until it comes to a stop, then they can play on. What's your thoughts on that, Martin?
Fucking ridiculous. How stupid. I know there's been a lot of older players, 60s, 70s players suffering with Alzheimer's and dementia. Some of the professionals say brought on by heading too many heavy footballs.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the footballs were a lot heavier. I think Jeff Astle, the old West Brom and England forward, was one of the first ones. And there's been a few Jackie Charlton. And there's been quite a few. Ray Hartford, my mate Paul Hartford's dad, he suffered with an head injury and sadly died through working on the training ground when he was at Millwall, through heading the ball and all that. So, yeah, there might be a point to that. But who are they playing then? Is this a charity match or a proper live game?
No, I think it's a charity match, and there are a few ex-pros involved. And it's just something that it came up on the internet. I was researching stuff. And it really took my eye. I mean, surely, Dave, this can't catch on, can it?
Well,
of course not.
No, it's probably a one-off thing just to see how it goes. It won't be easy because a player's reaction,
an instinct.
Your reaction if the ball comes over, you're going to nut it. But it'd be weird, wouldn't it, to see how that goes? I mean,
what are you going to do from a corner? What do you do when a corner? You put it high into the box.
Exactly, Martin. Yeah. Exactly.
What are you going to do from a free kick? You don't get pumped in the box.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how they're going to police it, but it was definitely something that's going to happen. And the way football is going with VAR and stuff, in a few years, Martin, it wouldn't surprise me if that edges in to a few lower leagues. Because you might say it's ridiculous now, but then to me, VAR's ridiculous. So
I can't see that.
Well, we spoke about this a couple of months ago, Matt. Me, you, and I think it was Gary Harris spoke about it.
Yeah.
When we said maybe, or the other week when Dave was on, when we were saying maybe they're going to start trying to introduce 2 or 3 women to a professional team's squad.
Yeah.
And it's going to come in that you've got to have 3 women who can be in your squad for that season. Something cranky like that. And then you're going to have toilet breaks for the women. And then after 15 minutes, they're allowed to go off and do their hair or do their makeup and all that.
To me, though, Martin, the way football has changed so much from what it used to be, nothing will surprise or shock me anymore.
Not me. But I'm really, like a lot of people I've been going to football for years, really can't be bothered to go now because taking a knee and all this fucking nonsense with pundits who's no one ever heard of. Listen, you want to hear someone's view who's been there, played the game at the highest level.
Been there, done it.
Fucking twat who's played for Sutton or fucking Tooting Mitcham or Weymouth or whoever. No, you don't want to listen to some woman talking about bollocks.
No.
Stick to fucking doing
Hey, right.
What?
No, I'm not saying nothing now, go
on. I'm just saying. I've upset people on Twitter. Women come on, I said, listen, they was talking about Lampard. I said, you know fuck all about football, about Frank Lampard shouldn't have been sacked. He was a great player. And I argued, great player, but not a great coach. And I said to one woman, listen, love, stick to fucking doing the washing up. Oh, there was a fucking outcry on Twitter because I told this woman to stick to washing up. That's my, I mean, I was only joking.
We'll go over to the England women, actually, to try and sort of swing it round. They won 8-0. I think it was against Macedonia, and it could have been more. And to be fair, the England women team do quite well, don't they, Martin, to be honest?
Yeah, well, my mate's daughter plays for the England team, Ollie Oldham. And, get some good players. Technically, they're very good. But even she says, Holly even says who plays for England, she plays for Charlton, she's been at Brighton, she's been at Chelsea. And she even says that women's football is totally different from men's football.
Fact.
And she agrees.
Yeah.
That's what she says. She plays for England. And she even says, why are we having all these women pundits on BT, Sky, Match of the Day, when it should be men commentating on men's football? She's a woman, she plays for England, and she even agrees it's gone too far. Yeah. Now, what more can you say about that?
Any issues on England, on the England women's team, Dave? I mean, 8-0's a good result for an international, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they are a good side. England women have been good over the last 10 years or so. Got to a World Cup final and that.
They did. Yeah,
I think twice, or semi-final and then a final. But yeah, like I say, it's totally. It's not as physical. It's not as fast. It's not as strong. They haven't got the strength that men have got. But they are getting better. Women are getting better. It is, sometimes you get some good games. But the England team, the England women, is definitely getting better, isn't it? So yeah, good luck to them, I say. But as I reiterate, it's a separate thing. You can't, you just can't integrate the pair of them, can you? Really, it's different. It's totally different. It's like netball. Would men play netball? Or,
I think there is a man. I think there's a man's team in the Olympics, and you will probably find it about. But you say, netball is the first thought that comes up when you say netball is women. And that's I'm not being prejudiced. That's just my first thought. Yeah. It's as simple as that. I'll quickly go on to our last issue before we talk about what's going on off the field. Pep, Man City's Pep. He's upset a lot of people. He's come out and said that there's not enough Man City fans following Man City. Now, what's your thoughts on that, Martin?
I don't know. What's he talking about? Not enough Man City fans?
He's basically saying that there's not enough City fans that travel when they go away. Now, I don't know why he's saying that. That's just what he feels, but I would say to Pep, wow, look at ticket prices for a start, mate.
That's good shout, Matt. Yeah. I mean, up in the northwest, you've got so many teams up there, haven't you? You've got Man City, Man United, you've got Burnley, Blackburn, Bolton. It's endless. Wigan, Wrexham, Stoke, all up that way. So you've got 20, 30 teams up that way. Yeah. And so, Man United, they don't get as many people from Manchester follow them. They come from Devon and Cornwall. And
all around. Yeah.
All over. They come over from Ireland. So, but Man City haven't got that. I know they're a successful team because of the money they got. Yeah. But they've never, ever really sold out the Etihads, have they? They've always struggled to sell the ground out. They've always struggled. Even when I was at Main Road, they struggled to sell out. So I think it's a thing where you've got too many teams following other teams' supporters to follow. Man, they've got choices up there. That's what I'm trying to say. You've got more choice up in the northwest.
I just think it's a very strange thing for Pep to come out with.
Well, I think Man City
fans, there's not enough of you. Well, hang on a minute, Pep. You know, we don't all earn the same wages as you do, Pep. You know,
no,
so
exactly.
I think it's a bit of a naive thing to say, really.
Well, I think this will be his last season at Man City, and then go off somewhere else.
Well, I've heard he's looking to go to. He wants to manage an international team, so
that would be Spain, then, wouldn't it?
That would be Spain, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, Dave? It's a strange thing to come out with to me.
Well, I disagree with him, to be honest. I think Man City have always had a good away following, from my own experience. Whenever they played QPR, they've always bought loads. You know, when I went to Brentford years ago, 1980 something, in a cup against Man City, and half of West London turned up for Brentford that day. Man City had a massive turnout. They've always had a good turnout. I don't know where he's even coming from with that at all, unless they're getting smaller allocations from the home team.
Possibly
you look that.
Yeah, good shout.
There's loads of empty seats.
I think he's
when they're on telly, there's loads of empty seats there.
Yeah,
so I think they don't get as many people as he wants to. And they're not
talking about away games. Are you talking about away games only or home games? Like,
well, I think in all. I mean, he came out with it after Man City played Southampton, but I think it's probably overall, Dave.
Well, like you say, it's not cheap, is it, going to football these days?
No,
COVID. Everyone's just been out of work and shit, and that's the way it goes. It's the way it goes.
UK casuals, we like to talk about stuff happening on the field and also stuff that happens off the field. Now, it was Leicester was playing Napoli. And before Napoli fans decided to take their belts off and attack some Leicester fans. Now, Leicester, it wasn't their main mob, but the lads were there. They gave a good account of themselves, and there will be a clip inserted. So you can see what we're talking about. What do you make of this, Martin? Are Italian ultras known for taking their belts off?
Napoli are. I know a few of the Napoli boys. They come over with Gaetano Bully, one of our boys.
Right.
His family come from Naples.
Right.
So he's got close links with. They've got Curva A, Curva B, Curva C, where they stand in the ground in Napoli, and they come over to Chelsea. About six-handed, all got the sunglasses on their head, the jackets.
Yeah.
Usual shit what they wear. Anyway, but they went to West Ham a couple of years ago, walked round the ground twice, about 500 or 600 of them, unopposed. They went to Swansea a couple of years ago, caused that. If they're playing in Europe, they will turn out Napoli. They took about 5,000 to Rome, and there's a clip on YouTube getting off the train, and they just keep coming and coming and coming, and they go round. Have you seen that, Dave? They've got a massive herd. No, they've got a real big firm, Napoli, and they're well known for. There was no surprise to me when I spoke to Bully this week. He normally goes with them when they come over because, as I say, he's a Napoli fan and a Chelsea fan. And he said that's their thing, taking off belts. They take the belt off, use the buckles. And Leicester have got the baby squad. They got a little firm. They got a good little firm, Leicester, as you know, Dave, and I know. And so they've probably taken it to Leicester, and Leicester don't really know their history about Napoli. But when they go to Napoli to play them, They're having a rough ride out there, I tell you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everyone who's got, except our lot, because Bully organised it all with Tony Cavelli when he was alive, and they left our lot alone. We had about 300 or 400 mob out there, no trouble. They respected Bully,
trouble.
so they give Chelsea a
to be honest, Martin, the clip that will be inserted into this show, the Leicester lads did give a good account of themselves, to be fair.
Right. Well, there you go. That's what I said. But they would have been taken by surprise.
They would have been. So, Dave, how do you feel about people taking off their belts? And because even though they're taking off the belts, that's still a weapon, isn't it? You know, let's be honest.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, anyone that gets involved in any type of violence football now is just ridiculous. It's just not worth. It's just not worth.
You'll get filmed straight away. Yeah.
It ain't worth it. It should be, just leave it alone now, boys. It's a thing of the past. But if someone comes looking for it at your ground and they're beating people up,
what are you supposed to do? Exactly.
You're going to you're going to sort of make a show of things. But and as for the clips and all that, I don't agree with that as well, because you're putting it up on the net and the old Bill are going to watch it. And the faces are on there.
It's part. I mean, everyone's got a phone now, so everyone's a cameraman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. But whatever happened, I've seen the video myself, and there's been loads of videos recently up. There's one at West Brom Millwall last week.
I saw that last week.
And Millwall seem to be seem to be coming unstuck a few times recently. I don't know all that.
At your place.
Even at QPR.
Might be generational, Dave.
There weren't nothing of note at QPR. It's just people had sick of Millwall marching through Uxbridge Road and they're having a pop at them. But it's not worth it. We've all had banning orders. Martin, you've had banning orders, been to prison and all that. But I would say to anybody, it says, don't get involved in it anymore, man. But for those that do, that's your business.
That's what does. Okay, on to the last issue before this show is over. Was after the Leeds, the Newcastle versus Leeds match, that went off as well, which a clip will be shown.
You've been framed, isn't it?
No surprise to me, really, Martin.
Yeah, there's a couple of birds in there fighting as well, wasn't there? There's a couple of birds.
You have a look at it.
You have a look at it. Have a look. There's a couple of birds getting stuck in.
They don't only want to get into the game. They also want their own casuals.
No, I go back to that. You know, we're saying about women and men's football shouldn't be mixed, yeah?
Yeah.
But the women seem to be getting more violent these days and all, don't they? Like to get him stuck in and that.
You see them out on a Saturday night, Dave. They have a few martinis or whatever they drink and they're on it.
But you have a look at that clip again, and you'll see a couple of women getting. I don't know. Is it Newcastle with their backs to the camera or Leeds in front of the camera?
I think it's Leeds in front. I think.
Is that Friday?
Well, two women are getting stuck in from with their backs to the camera. Two tarts are getting stuck in. We watch it. I can't believe it.
Well, that's for me to research. So I think that's about it, really, gentlemen, isn't it? The full-time whistle.
Can I just say one more thing, boys?
Of course you can, Dave. Yeah, there's time.
I just want to pay tribute to the great Jimmy Greaves, the legend.
Yes.
He died, didn't he? Yeah. Bless him.
Good shout, Dave. Good shout. Yeah.
Great player. Great
player. I used to love that Satan Greavesy as a kid and
all that. Class.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Absolute class. And all our best to his family and what they're going through at this tough time. Really.
Good shout, Dave. That's a lovely shout.
Very good shout, Dave. I should have said that myself. Okay, that is it from UK Casuals Football Show. Thank you to Martin King of SW6 Blues Pride of London and Dave Class, QPR Memoirs. Also, thank you to our main sponsors, the Casual Thug. This T-shirt I'm wearing now, the Snoopy Casual. Probably can't see it, but there'll be a link in the description to how you can order that. And there'll be more videos coming from UK Casual soon.
Thank you to the sponsors of this video, The Casual Thug. They have a new Snoopy t-shirt out now. If you'd like to order it, the link will be in the description. See you next week.